How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to some more Zero Escape 999. Yes, I know, if Danganronpa Another was beaten into the ground because I didn't play it for like 2 months, this thing was buried 6 feet under. Blah, 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 I can't speak today. It's been over 3 months since I booted up this game, and I kind of prioritized Danganronpa Another more, which I'm sorry for, but I just wanted to play that more than this. And I didn't have the time to play both, so I made an executive decision. I'm sorry for those of you who were expecting some more Zero Escape. But yeah, welcome back to Zero Escape. Let me just make sure. Okay, seems to all be good. We love to see it. I'm gonna be using controller, just like with Danganronpa Another. I don't even remember where we last left off. Should have watched my latest episode. I think I'm with Clover, and I think Junpei is with Clover and 7, yeah? Yeah, I think it is. I think that's it. So, yeah, let's just continue and see where we left off. Maybe memory will spark something with me. If I have to stop at any point, I'll let you know. It's the usual thing with my Let's Plays, you know. I'm not very good at these things, so just... Let's go. Okay, we're in C-Deck. Oh yeah, the operating room, that's right. Yeah. Alright, let's see what we got. Okay, got it. I'm using a DualShock 4, that's why it looks like that. Okay, that's weird. I'm gonna have to get accustomed to this. Okay, so I think I got it. That's pretty cool. What do I have as items? So we have red liquid, blue liquid. Have we opened this? Yeah, we've opened all of these, haven't we? Okay. Not yet. Oh, I really should have watched my last episode, because I'm pretty lost at this stage. A sink doesn't look suspicious. Pretty sure I can combine the red and blue liquid to make purple, right? Okay, hold up. File, calc, flow, speed up item. Okay, there we go. That's so weird! No. Can't combine them. Okay. Using a controller on this game, it's so weird, but like, given that the original was in the, like, it was a DS game, it's locked. Okay, it won't open. Looks like a light switch, but it ain't working. Okay. Okay, what about over here? The chemical room. Oh yeah, we've been here before. This is where 7 had that talk with me about the gigantic, right? Where we got this, we solved that puzzle. I'm sorry guys, the first part of this episode is just gonna be me getting reacquainted with the game. There's a scalpel and a pair of forceps on the table. They're rusty though, I don't think they'd be very useful, okay? The chest of the medical mannequin. An organ is missing, okay? A creepy medical mannequin is lying on a bed. Apparently his name is John. Huh? There's some sort of lid on this thing. Why don't you try opening it? Can't, there's no handle. I can't get under it with my nails either. Okay. I see. I don't think I'd heard that one before. Right, this is the one for the weight. There's something that appears to be a scale attached to the bed. Yeah. An old hard bed. Lucy's head and left arm are sitting on the bed. Maybe something will happen if we gather all of her body parts. Okay. There's a lot of tools. Looks like it's probably a heater. There's nothing in it. A thing for boiling tools to sterilize them. There's nothing in the drawer. There's nothing in the lower shelf. Shelves are packed with bottles of medicine I can't identify. Okay. Okay. I think you hang your coat here. There's a bunch of hooks. Okay. Cabinet with a drawer in it. There's nothing left in the drawer. So we took everything we needed from it already, huh? Okay. There's a long chair in the corner of the room. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna cut the video, cut the episode, and I'll be back when I find something. I'll be right back. Well, that was easy. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Just wanted to make sure. Yeah. Well, that was very easy. I get it. You combine the red liquid and the blue liquid to make a purple one. Well, I mean, I thought of that. I just didn't think it'd be here. Good job, Junpei. The purple light came on, and I heard it unlock. I'm sure it's unlocked. The locker with the purple plate has got to be unlocked. All right, let's see what happened. Give me that. Oh, hi. A fake stomach. Okay. This is a really big nose. That's no nose. It's a stomach. Oh, a stomach. Okay. I see now. Can I combine it with this? No, okay. Can I have all the body parts, right? I should have them. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so we've collected the 6 parts of the medical mannequin. So the ones we've got must be for Lucy, right? Yeah. Seems like it. Well, I say we give Lucy her parts back. Any objections? Nope. Agreed. Alright, let's get started. Combine! Okay. Oh, there's a number on here. 51 kilograms? What's this? Is this the weight? Well, we were just stacking body parts on it, so it makes sense that it'd be the weight. Okay. Hey, nothing happened. That's odd. Maybe it's the wrong weight? Weight? Yeah, well, you know how there's a scale on the side of the bed? Maybe we need to get the scale to a specific number. How are we gonna do that? I think we're supposed to swap her body parts with John's. Oh. Let's give it a shot. Operate. What the hell? Okay, that's a great way to restart the game. A mini game? The screen will display 2 medical mannequins. You can switch their body parts by selecting the part you want to switch out. Okay. Okay, what is the... Okay. So these parts are the ones we can switch. Okay. Okay. Oh, we have to make it 52 each, isn't it? Oh god, that's gonna be weird. Okay. Let's think about this. Okay, hold up. So, John's heart weighs 300 grams more than Lucy's. Gonna be doing some math here, boys. I'm not muted, by the way, am I? I'm just... Okay, I'm not. Good. We're gonna be doing some math here. Engineering student here, coming through. This one weighs 5 to 9, 600 grams less. That's 900 total so far. We have to get this 1.5 kilos down, so I'm missing 600. How much is this? 5, it's too much. Okay, I see. Missing a kilo here, so... Okay, this one's gonna be weird. If I just did this, the legs would be... Okay, hold up, what? Oh, so the left leg is 400. Okay. Oh, right leg. Left on my perspective. It's 400. Okay. This is 6. This plus this would make this 52. What's the number we want? No dice. I think if we knew the weight of each part, we could figure it out. Yeah, but what's the weight? Seems to be a skill that measures the patient's weight. The panel says 51. Alright, let's try this again. Hold up. What's the weight we're trying to achieve here? Are we trying to balance it out? Because, like, what would be the balanced weight? 52.25, right? Because the combined weight is 104.5. 104.5 over 2 equals 52.25. But we can't do that. Okay, I think the arm we need to switch because now it's the same arms. Oh, nope. Stop. Okay. 51.5, 53. Okay. Alright guys, I'm gonna cut the episode again and I'll be back when I figure this out. So you guys don't have to watch me be an idiot for like 20 minutes straight. I'll be right back. Oh, I was just pressing buttons randomly, so you just needed to swap the entire thing. Makes sense. Okay, that works. I'm not muted again, right? I'm really sorry, guys. It's been a while. It's been a while. Nah. Okay, so I just needed to swap the entire thing. Makes sense. Hey, Junpei, I had just heard something. It came from John's operating table. We better check it out. All right, it's probably the lid, right? Huh? The lid on the scale. Hey, it opened. Oh, I get it. It must have opened because we matched John's weight to what's on the chart. I didn't remember the number. The Jupiter key. Hey, the symbol engraved in that key. Isn't it the Jupiter symbol? Then that means... Yep, we can get the fuck out of here.
Hey, hold on.
Alright, what's up? Oh yeah, novel screen. Novel in adventure. Ah, okay. I like the novel one. I forgot. Junpei stopped, about to put the key into the doorknob.
Oh, what's up? Where's Clover?
Where is Clover?
Huh?
Junpei turned around. Clover was nowhere to be seen.
Oh, God damn it. Where the hell did she go? Okay, just hold on a minute. I'll go get her. Sure thing.
Junpei left Seven at the door and headed back to the operating room. He found her standing next to the operating table. She was staring at the mannequin.
Hey, Clover, what's wrong? Come on, let's get out of here.
She didn't respond. If she hadn't been standing up and breathing, Junpei might have thought she was dead.
What are you doing? Did you want to come back here and say goodbye to John?
It wasn't the best joke, but it was something, an attempt to lighten the mood. Clover didn't laugh. She stood stock still and said nothing.
Hey, Clover, can you hear me?
Perhaps it was something he'd said, or perhaps it was something else. Suddenly her mouth opened, and she whispered in a dry, dead voice.
My brother might be dead.
Oh, right. Snake. He's missing. I forgot.
Huh?
That's why we couldn't find him. If he's dead, I'm going to be next.
Suddenly the operating room felt very, very cold.
What are you talking about? What's wrong with you?
He gave her a small shake, but she still didn't respond. The silence grew heavier. Junpei, what do you want to do? Oh wait, do I have that?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know why, but suddenly Junpei remembered something he'd been given earlier.
It's in my pocket somewhere. Here it is.
He reached into his pocket and dug it out.
A 4-leaf clover.
Santa had given to him on the second class room, yeah. He held it out to Clover.
Hey, did you know? Each leaf means something. Hope, faith, love, and luck. That's what a four-leaf clover stands for. Take it. Use it as a good luck charm.
Press the 4-leaf clover into her
Listen
hand.
to me, Clover. No matter what happens, you can never lose hope.
Oh my fucking god, not again! Not again, please! I've had enough of that!
You have to remember what's most important, and that's to have faith and to have love.
It's funny because the people who made this game also made Danganronpa, so yeah, that checks out.
If you can remember all of those, that'll bring you good luck.
Alright.
Snake, I mean, your brother, he's not dead. He's alive, somewhere. I'm sure of it. You've just gotta believe in that.
Clover stared at the 4-leaf clover in her hand. You could see tears start to form at the corners of her eyes.
Thank you.
Aww. Her voice was tiny and broken, and as she spoke, she started to cry. She tried to hide her tears by looking at the floor, but it did little good. She wiped away tears with the baggy arms of her jacket, but more quickly took their place. No matter how she tried, she couldn't stop crying. Aww. Her tears made small wet circles on the floor.
Thank you.
I really like Clover. I mean, to be fair, the entire cast here is pretty human. These are normal people that just got dragged into a really shitty situation. She said it again, and she looked up at Junpei and seemed to choke down to the last of her grief. She did her best to smile. Junpei wiped an errant tear from her cheek with his thumb and gave her the best smile he could manage.
Come on. Seven's waiting for us at the exit.
Oh, but still she didn't move.
Wait, before we go, there's one thing I want to ask you.
Okay.
What's that?
What do you think when you hear the word experiment?
Oh? Well, that came out of nowhere. For a moment, his mind froze. And then he came back to his senses and realized the word meant nothing to him, aside from the dictionary definition.
What?
Oh. I guess it was just a coincidence then. I mean, that you knew about the 4-leaf clover.
Look, I'm sorry. I don't want to be a jerk, but you are making less than no sense right now.
Oh, no. It's nothing. Just forget about it.
What the hell is happening?
Oh, don't give me that. You really think I could just drop this? What is this experiment you were talking about?
Clover looked away. The 4-leaf clover was still in her hand. She stared at it for a long moment and then finally spoke.
You promise you won't tell anyone?
Cross my heart.
Really?
Really?
I can trust you, right?
Of course you can.
Clover slipped the 4-leaf clover into her pocket. Her eyes still red from crying, she looked up at Junpei.
Okay then, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what happened on this ship 9 years ago.
What?
Wait. On this ship?
What the fuck?
Yeah, this ship.
He was entirely lost. He had 1,000 questions, but it was probably best, he thought, to save them until Clover had finished.
It was an experiment to test some sort of psychic thing, communicating through these fields that you can't see.
Oh, the morphogenetic fields? Not again, bro.
Fields that you can't see?
He'd heard something like this before. Clover nodded.
Like, think about this.
She pointed at the operating table. On top of it was a somewhat mismatched medical mannequin whose parts had been swapped with another mannequin.
This is John, right? But is he really John?
Oh, I see.
Huh?
All Junpei could think was she has finally completely lost it.
Isn't this like Locke's socks? Or the ship of Theseus?
Junpei is so lost! Junpei grew even more confused. He'd never heard of either of those things, although they sounded smart.
You don't know? You haven't heard of those paradoxes?
No?
Junpei shook his head.
Really?
Clover laughed.
Okay, well pay attention then. This is how Locke's socks works.
Okay.
Let's say I've got a pair of socks.
Mm-hmm.
They're my favorite socks.
Got it.
One of them gets a hole in it.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do if that was your sock, Junpei?
That's a good question. What would I do? I mean, if it's patchable, I'd patch it up, but if not, I'd just throw it away.
Well, I guess I'd patch it up, get some cloth, and close up the hole.
But what if another hole opens?
What?
Add another patch.
What if another hole opened after that?
Another patch, I guess?
Well, let's say you just keep adding new patches.
Oh, I see. I think I see what she's trying to say already. Okay.
Until eventually, the original cloth of the sock is totally gone. Once you get to that point, can you really say they're the same socks you started with?
Well, that's tough.
Yeah. Junpei crossed his arms.
So, that's the locked socks thing?
Yeah, the ship of Theseus is a lot like it.
Okay.
The ship of Theseus. If you keep fixing the damaged parts of a ship, eventually it ends up with none of the parts it started with. Can you really say that ship is the same one you started with?
Yeah, that's a good point.
And what if you took all the old parts from the first ship and built another one somewhere else? Then which ship is the real ship of Theseus? The one you repaired, or the one you built with all the original parts?
It was an interesting question. Clover could see Junpei was intrigued.
Hey, do you think it's the same?
What's the same?
These guys. Is this John, or is it Lucy now?
Junpei looked at the operating table again.
Uh,
A mannequin full of body parts from a different body. Clover had been right. It was just like Locke's socks in the ship of Theseus. The part of the body that holds a person's identity is the head. Of course, for many hundreds of years, conventional wisdom had held that a man's identity resided in his heart, or any of a number of internal organs, okay? And here they had both.
John's head and heart are both his, but apart from
Oh.
nose and a single arm, the rest of his body was once Lucy's.
Was that mannequin really John?
We're just like these mannequins.
She looked at Junpei again.
Think about it.
Okay.
The cells in our body change every day. Old ones die and new ones are born.
Yeah, she's right.
Maybe part of my arm is made of stuff from a fish I ate once.
Oh, God.
Or maybe part of your right side is made from a cow you ate. If you take it a little further, those cows and fishes are made from something else too, right?
I see what you mean,
That's
yeah.
how we're all connected.
Mm-hmm.
Through fields that can't be seen with the naked eye.
The silence was broken by Seven.
Hey, what the hell is taking you two so long?
Seven's head appeared in the doorway. He was not
How
happy.
long are you gonna make me wait? We don't have time to screw around.
He kinda right, though. Junpei and Clover looked at each other. Clover looked at Junpei as if to say there was more she wanted to tell him. She shook her head. Whatever she had to tell him, she didn't want to tell him in front of Seven. Seven seemed to catch on.
Oh? What were you two doing? Was this some sort of secret meeting?
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
We
God.
were just
Just...
Hey, having a nice talk.
playing with the mannequins.
I'm sorry.
Huh?
Let's go, Junpei.
Moving a little bit too fast to be entirely innocent, Clover headed toward the exit. Seven stared after her, then turned to Junpei with an amused expression.
Playing with mannequins, huh? Didn't know you were into that kind of thing, Junpei.
You're a dick.
You are. Junpei dashed past him and traced Clover's path out of the door. With a short laugh, Seven followed. They stood in front of the door. Junpei took out the Jupiter key.
Alright, I'm gonna open it now. Is that cool?
You don't need to keep asking, just do it, alright?
Fine then.
He slid the key into the keyhole and turned it. He felt it unlock. Right, where the hell are we going this time? The door opened with a soft, melancholy creak. Beyond it lay a simple white hallway. There was no fanfare or confetti. Obviously, there was no one there to applaud them. They simply walked through the door. That was it.
Alright, let's get going.
Hey man, what's up with you? You're so serious, you know? Can't you sound more happy, get a little excited?
Not really.
Fair point. Junpei turned away from Seven and took his first step down the simple white hallway.
My brother might be dead. I'm going to be next.
Clover had told him only a few minutes before that her brother was probably dead and she was likely to follow him.
Like hell I can. Not after hearing something like that.
You found it. Okay. They left the operating room. The hallway took them around several corners and past several doors, but they were all locked.
There too, huh? Every door in this place is locked up tight.
How about that one?
The final door was hidden in a corner of the hall.
May as well give it a try.
Junpei grabbed the handle. As he made to push it open, a voice stopped him. The voice came from behind him and belonged to neither Seven nor Clover.
Jumpy!
Oh, hey, it's June!
Huh?
He spun around. He saw someone running toward him from the other end of the hallway. There were 3 people coming toward Junpei and his companions.
June? And Santa? And Lotus too?
They pulled up short in front of Junpei, breathing hard.
Whoa! What the hell is this?
What are you doing here?
What? But we didn't...
Before he could finish, Clover spoke.
Hey guys, could you come take a look at this?
She was standing near the end of a small hallway that branched off to the right. The rest of them ran over to her, curious as to what she'd found.
Look on the wall here.
There was something on the wall at the end of the hallway. A map.
A map of the ship's interior?
It says C deck. So it's the map for this floor then?
Door 7 and... Door 8. Yep, they both eventually end up at this hallway.
In fact...
Yeah, isn't that what I said? We aren't going to be split up permanently till we find door 9. We might get separated for a little while, but we'll see each other again.
Yeah, he's right.
Otherwise, we won't be able to open door 9. That's how the Nonary game works.
I see.
Junpei looked at the map of the ship's interior again.
Wait a sec. Hey, could this lead to...
As he looked more closely, his surprise and excitement gave way to wariness.
Oh,
You've got to be kidding me.
One by one, the others saw what he'd seen.
We may as well go.
yeah.
They moved as one for the door.
Almost forgot. We should keep this.
He pulled the map of the ship's interior off the wall, put it in his pocket, and followed the others. Yes, nice. The 6 of them stood in front of the door, arrayed in a semicircle. Santa stepped forward. He took hold of the door and spoke without looking back at the other 5.
Ready? I'm gonna open it.
Slowly, all 5 nodded in their silent assent. With a deep breath, Santa threw open the door. Where is this leading? I'm very confused. Why is it like such a big deal? They poured through the doorway and ran into the room. Even without looking around, each one of them knew where they were.
I knew it.
They were just where the map had said they would be.
We're back.
No. Oh, I see. Okay.
In the hospital room.
We're back in the
I
hospital.
see. I believe I understand what you're saying.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Ace. Didn't he, like, drug himself?
The 6 of you split into 2 teams and went through doors 7 and 8. You solved the puzzles in the operating room and the laboratory, and then met one another in the hallway after opening your respective locked doors.
Okay, yeah. He looked like anyone might after only just waking up, but it seemed that his brain was working as well as ever. He had managed to grasp, summarize, and understand each team's report.
At any rate, I feel a bit silly for my little show of altruism.
Nah.
I know I said I was sure you'd come back for me. I didn't think it would happen so soon, though.
Ace shook his head with a rueful smile.
Well, we saw each other again and we ain't dead, so I say that's good enough.
I was wondering, like... I was wondering because... There were only 6 people here. One of, out of the 9 that started the game, the 9th man is fucking dead because he had the 9... He had the 9, bracelet. And it was fucking overpowered. Oh, didn't mean to do that. And it was fucking overpowered. We talked about this in the earlier episodes. The bracelet with the number 9 is just overpowered. So it was removed from the game immediately. So we're only missing Snake now. Okay. 7 smiles.
Anyway, I said we get out of this creepy old place. We found the key we need.
Yeah.
The key?
Ain't that what I just said? I'm talking about the Jupiter key. We found it in the operating room. Right, Junpei?
Yep.
Yeah.
Junpei nodded.
Oh, the solar system keys. Actually, we found one in the laboratory too.
Oh. Which one?
Here, the Earth key.
Oh, nice. Lotus dug out a still warm key with an earth symbol on it.
I might lose it. It's probably better if you hold on to it. That
Okay.
way it won't be my fault if it gets lost.
Shut the fuck up, Lotus.
Yeah, on it.
And with that, she pressed it into Junpei's hand. Felt slightly less than honored.
Now
Yep.
we have 3 keys that we haven't used yet.
Yeah. The Jupiter key that we found in the operating room. The Saturn key card we found in the kitchen.
Yep.
And the Earth key Lotus just gave me.
Junpei tugged the new keys into his pockets. June spoke up.
The Jupiter key is supposed to be for the door at the end of that long, straight hallway, right?
Yeah.
All
If
right.
that's right, then it connects to the central staircase. Then, next to the stairs,
Wait!
They were the first words anyone had heard out of Clover in quite some time. Her face suggested they weren't going to be very happy words.
What about door 3?
look, you saw the map, right? It's the same as 7 and 8. Just lead us back to the big hospital room. There's no point to seeing what's on the other side of that door.
There is a point.
She's right.
At least there is for me.
There were tears in her eyes, but she glared at Seven as hard as she could, just the same. She looked very much like a frightened puppy. There wasn't a man alive who could have resisted those eyes. Seven looked everywhere in the room except at Clover, and muttered and coughed apologies under his breath.
Yeah, you're right, I'm sorry. Snake might be on the other side of door 3.
Clover nodded once. The next person to speak was Ace.
Very well. I'll be coming with you then. I've had a nice long rest. I think it's time I was up and about again. So, Seven, you'll help me, won't you?
I mean, hold up. 4 plus 1 plus 7. 5 plus 7, 12. Yep. Digital root of 12 is 3. Enjoy your trip! Junpei did the calculations quickly in his head. 4 plus 1 plus 7 equals 12. 12 plus 1 plus 2 equals 3. Looked like 7 was doing them too. At least he gave up.
Damn.
At last he gave up.
Well, I guess that's how it's gotta be. So I'm going with you, huh?
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Alright, let's get moving.
Dude, 7 is just stuck with Clover. And so it was decided that Clover, Ace, and 7 would discover what lay beyond door 3.
Okay, we're heading out.
Be careful.
Whoa. Didn't think I'd be hearing that from you, Lotus.
Don't let it go to your head. I'd be in trouble if the 3 of you bought it. The rest of us can't open the 9 door.
That's true.
The truth comes out.
7 nodded as if the sensor made much more sense and pulled the lever on the red. Yeah, the Red Dead Redemption. That's a very bad joke.
Okay, we're off.
The door opened and Ace, Clover, and 7 jumped through it. 6, 7, 8. After exactly 9 seconds, the door closed noisily.
All right, we should get moving too.
Yep.
Huh?
Get moving.
Where are we going?
Everyone except Lotus seemed rather
Well,
confused.
it would be a waste of time to just sit around, wouldn't it? Let me explain.
He's planning to use the keys, okay.
Oh, I get it. We're gonna see if we can get anywhere interesting with the Jupiter key.
Yes. If we're lucky, we might find Snake.
True. They were at the end of the hallway lined by individual hospital rooms.
And here's the Jupiter symbol on the keyhole.
All right, Junpei, open it if you please.
Yeah, on it.
Alright, Junpei pulled the Jupiter key out of his pocket and slid it into the keyhole. Kingdom Hearts! Sorry, I had to. He twisted. With a nice sharp click, he felt the door unlock. Junpei sucked in a breath. The way that's written is so funny. Held it and opened the door as quietly as he could. Inside was exactly what he expected to see from the map of the ship's interior. They were in a tremendous hall, almost like a ballroom, with a massive central staircase.
Great, back to the beginning. You sure this is a good idea?
What do you mean?
Well, we already searched every inch of this room, didn't we?
True.
I'm asking you if there's any reason we came back here.
I mean, to be fair, weren't there doors you needed the Earth key for? Of course, there's a reason.
Of course there's a reason. Man, sometimes I can't tell if you're smart or just lucky.
Huh?
This.
Junpei pulled 2 things out of his pockets.
The Saturn key card. And the Earth key? I'm lost.
Santa cocked his head to one side like an inquisitive bird and looked at them. After several long moments during which it became apparent that Santa had no idea what the cards meant, June took pity on him.
Don't you remember, Santa? On C deck, where we are now, there was a big elevator behind the stairs, remember?
Yeah.
And next to the elevator, there was a card reader with the Saturn symbol on it. And on A deck, on the door to the left,
Yeah, there was
a keyhole with the Earth symbol on it.
Yep.
I think. So the 2 keys that Jumpy has?
Should let us use the elevator and the door on A deck. Huh.
Yes, that's right.
June smiled, pleased with herself. Oh, so did Santa.
All right, I got it. Let's get started then. What do you say we split into 2 teams? Lotus and I
Okay.
will search the Earth one, so you 2 can search Saturn, all right?
Sounds good. Then you guys should take this key.
Junpei handed the Earth key to Santa. They decided that their initial search should be
We
brief.
have no idea what's on the other side of these, so don't go too far. Just search for 10 minutes and come back.
Plan decided, the 2 teams split it up. Oh, this music! Junpei and June headed for the elevators.
There's a card reader next to the left elevator.
Then let's try out the Saturn key card.
A light on the upper left corner blinked to life.
It looks like it's working now.
All right. Now, how do I call the elevator?
There was a single button to the right of the elevator door.
Oh, it only has the upside-down triangle on it.
So that means it's going down.
I guess there's no up button. Well, we may as well try pushing this one.
The door slid shut and they heard the grinding of the motor as the elevator car moved down. Oh, that is a creep.
It opened! Look, Jumpy!
That is a creepy ass elevator. June's voice was excited, but Junpei could hear a tinge of anxiety.
Sweet! It opened! Let's get going.
He grinned at June, then stepped forward toward the open door. He was about to set foot in it. He felt a hand on his arm.
Wait!
What's wrong?
What?
I'm not really, I just, oh gosh.
Junpei was at something of a loss. What could she possibly be so frightened of? June was probably afraid of... Oh. What the fuck did I... Oh, I see. This is the transcript. Okay. It's pretty easy to achieve. I know this is like probably the right answer, but fine. After a little thought, Junpei decided that she had to be nervous about being locked up in such a small space alone with a boy.
Well, we will be all alone in here.
In a way, it was kind of cute. Very demure, you could say, he thought. Still, even though it wasn't exactly roomy in the elevator, they weren't going to be pressed up against one another. At least they didn't have to be. Still, it was making her nervous. Junpei couldn't help but think how innocent she was.
Jumpy?
Huh? Oh, nothing. It's not important. Come on, let's go.
Again, he stepped toward the elevator. And again, he felt himself restrained.
I said wait a minute.
Why?
Aren't you afraid, Jumpy?
Afraid of what?
Well, I've never, you know.
It's your first time?
She'd never been in an elevator with a man alone before. Even so, she still seemed awfully alarmed.
I might get wet.
What the fuck is this, bro?
What?
Down there. I'd get soaking wet.
We're going to D-Deck. Yes, we're going to D-Deck.
Well, I mean, of course you would. That's the way it works. I mean, I've never heard of anyone getting soaking wet somewhere else.
That's true.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
You
What is this?
don't mind
What is this dialogue?
Mind what?
getting wet?
Well, I don't know. I think I'd probably, like it.
Gosh, Jumpy, you're so brave.
Really? I mean, I kind of think any guy would do the same thing, you know? What happens, happens, right? I mean, if you get the chance, you just gotta go for it. That's what a man is supposed to do, I guess.
You're so cool, Jumpy. I really admire you.
What the fuck is happening?
That doesn't really seem like the sort of thing you ought to admire someone for.
I think we're talking about completely different things.
I'm really scared.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you've never done it before.
Yes. So, I don't think I'll be able to last very long. And then it'll be over.
What? Good golly, good gosh, oh golly, oh golly, this is not very Christian of you.
Over?
Yes. I'll go to heaven.
Heaven?
It feels kind of like you're floating in space, and your mind gets all fuzzy, like when you pass out.
She doesn't know how to swim.
At least that's what I've heard from people who have experienced it.
Yes, I've heard that too. Although I don't think the same thing happens to guys.
What?
Huh?
But it would happen to men too, wouldn't it? It would happen to anyone. Once it gets into your body, the same thing happens to everyone.
Yeah, she's talking about drowning. She doesn't know how to swim.
Oh, well, I mean, usually it doesn't. Generally.
Oh no,
Yes,
no.
it does. Well, eventually it will. It's not like you really have a choice. Your body will force you to swallow some of it.
Yeah, she's talking about Junpei, you are such a moron.
What are you trying to do to me?
Nothing. I'm not going to do anything to you. I'm just saying that that's what happens. It's a psychological reaction to what you're experiencing.
Oh, is that so?
This is dragging on way too long. And it's only natural? Is that what's natural for living beings? Perhaps he'd been mistaken all these years. Had he misunderstood life so gravely? The thought terrified him. Jun seemed to be entirely oblivious to Junpei's mounting confusion and terror.
I know most men probably have larger lungs, but even then, I don't think you could hold your breath for 20 or even 10 minutes. Eventually, you'd have to breathe, and then the water would get into your lungs. Once that happens, your body won't be able to get oxygen anymore, and you'll start to feel that floaty feeling as you pass out.
I'll be right back, guys. Back. Sorry. Had to go answer a phone call. Anyway.
Oh.
Oh. This is me. That's me. Finally, Junpei understood. He understood what Jun was trying to say and why she was so scared.
Yeah, you're right. You wouldn't last very long.
See?
He was afraid that the only elevator button pointed down. That meant, of course, that the elevator couldn't go any higher than the floor they were on. As he thought about it, Junpei realized he hadn't seen elevators on the A or B decks near the central staircase. All of which meant that the elevator could only convey them to the lower decks.
Come to think of it, the lower floor, D deck, is completely underwater. An
Yep.
elevator heading to a submerged floor. That is pretty scary. Hey, wait a minute. This elevator came up from somewhere under us, right?
Well, yes, I guess it did. It didn't open right away after you pressed the button. There was a motor noise like it was moving, and then it opened.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So, take a look inside.
Junpei jerked his head toward the interior of the elevator.
It's not wet at all, is it? The walls and even the floor are totally dry.
Oh, you're right. They are.
She looked around the elevator, slightly embarrassed.
Well, let's test it.
Tested.
Yeah, watch this. Now, I'll just put one foot inside the elevator and look over at the buttons. Oh, there's only two, E and C. All right, I'll push E.
Oh! E-deck? Wait. The door slid shut and I heard the grinding of the motor as the elevator car moved down. Is that deck submerged?
I think I can hear it opening on E deck.
Okay, that's done. Now I'll just press the button again.
A few moments later, the elevator returned. Water? Yep, no water.
Yep, not a single drop of water to be seen. See?
Junpei couldn't resist puffing out his chest just a little bit. Jun, however, still looked confused.
What does that mean? How can E deck be safe if the D deck is full of water?
Well, here's what I think. The elevator shaft and E-deck must be watertight and separated from wherever the ship's been punctured. Here, let me show you.
He pulled out his notebook and pen and sketched out a rough illustration.
I see. So is that why the ship hasn't sunk? The shape of the inside keeps it all from filling with water?
Yeah, I think that's what's going on.
Junpei continued talking as he closed the notebook and slipped it back into his pocket.
So I'm gonna go down and check it out. You stay here, alright?
But...
Come on, just do it, alright?
He gave Jun's shoulder a reassuring squeeze, then hopped onto the elevator. He pushed the E button and the door began to close. Jun looked worried, her eyes darting back and forth as if she was trying to make a decision when suddenly...
I'm coming with you!
Huh?
At the last possible moment, Jun dashed forward, turning sideways just in time to slip through the gap between the closing doors.
Hey, wait!
Junpei jammed his finger against the open button, but it was too late.
Oh, crap. It closed.
The door had shut. He and Jun were in the elevator, and it was headed down to D-deck. I can't talk. He was so surprised by Jun that he didn't even have time to think about what awaited him on the E-deck.
I can't just let you go alone, you know.
Ah, jeez.
What do we have? The elevator stopped, and the door slid open. They tentatively stepped out and looked around.
It looks normal.
No fish going about their fishy business or jellyfish floating lazily through the water. There was, however, a blowfish, or at least something that looked very much like one. Jun's cheeks were puffed out and her mouth a tiny, intense frown.
Oh, knock it off. It's just like I thought. This part hasn't flooded. Come on, just look around. There's no water here.
Jun looked around nervously, then exhaled.
You're right. It's not flooded at all.
See?
But there's a whole lot of water.
Yeah, right on top of us.
What's gonna happen if the ceiling breaks?
Junpei thought about that for a moment.
Well, we'd probably get really wet up there.
Huh?
At any rate, we should probably go back as soon as we can, once we're done looking around down here. Lotus and Santa might already be back.
Okay, good idea.
Now then.
Junpei glanced around the room they'd found themselves in. The first thing he noticed was a set of thick iron bars. They ran the length of the room, separating the left from the elevator from the right one.
Bars. Well, we can't go over there.
Right.
Then maybe.
In the corner of the room that housed the elevators, Junpei found an opening. He walked up to it and stuck his head around the corner. Oh!
It looks like there's a long straight hallway down this way.
Yeah, with the 6th door at the end.
Something's written on the door at the end. Wait, is that...
Let's check.
Junpei and Jun set off down the hallway at a brisk clip, somewhere between a run and a jog. For long, they found themselves in front of the door. On it was a number written in bright red paint. 6.
I knew it!
This is a numbered door.
And indeed, there was a red bolted to the wall right next to the door.
But we can't do anything with only the two of us.
We better head back and let everyone know.
Yes.
Junpei and Jun turned and headed back to C-deck.
Wait, what's this?
On their way back, Junpei noticed a map on the wall. A map of E-deck?
For E-deck?
Yep.
I should take it with me. Huh, so you guys found door 1.
Oh, nice! They'd met back up with Santa and Lotus, who had explained what they found. Apparently there was another numbered door on A-deck, just like the one on E-deck, beyond the door that the Earth key opened. According to Santa and Lotus, there was a 1 on the door.
So now we've located 2 new doors, the 6th door and the 1 door.
You know, it is interesting that E-deck wasn't flooded.
Lotus was quiet for a moment, but lost in thought.
Well, we don't really know if all of E-deck is safe. We only checked the area around the elevator.
Yeah, even so, it's still very interesting.
Yeah, true.
You said the 6th door was there, right?
Yes.
Then that means Zero planned all this out. Even the sinking. That would have meant some pretty serious remodeling of the ship's interior.
It's pretty
True.
mind-blowing when you think about it.
Yeah. I wonder how long it took. I can't even imagine how much it must have cost.
It would have been a ton, that's for sure.
While that does go along with what Ace was saying, the most reasonable explanation would be that this was done by some organization with access to a whole lot of cash.
Yes, it does make sense.
That thought made them all go quiet for a moment. June bit her lip while Lotus sighed softly to herself and Senta cracked a stiff neck and stared off into the distance at nothing.
Yeah?
I don't think it's a very good idea to stay here.
June looked up at Junpei with large pleading eyes.
Yes, you're right. Ace and his team might be back already.
Well, Junpei and I should be able to open door 1.
Huh?
Yeah.
You guys leaving me behind?
8 plus 6 plus 5 equals 19. Yeah, no 1 plus 9 equals 10. 10 equals 1.
Just kidding. All right, let's go.
Lotus's words were all the impetus they needed. Back to the large hospital room they went. Are they back? The moment they stepped inside, a tremendous voice echoed across the room.
Hey! Where the hell did you guys go?
It was 7.
7?
What the hell happened? Oh, they didn't find Snake, did they? Ace was right behind him, and Clover was behind Ace, although she seemed to be hanging back.
What's wrong?
It looked as though there was something strange about them. 7 had the look of a man who'd seen a ghost. Ace was just as pale, and Clover looked as though she was only moments from passing out entirely. For a long moment, they simply stood there, looking at one another. Junpei looked around nervously, waiting for someone else to speak. No one did. He looked at 7.
What happened?
What the hell kind of question is that?
7 was trying very hard to be angry, but something had shaken him hard. His shoulders were trembling, and his voice was strained.
Snake is...
7 couldn't finish. Oh my god, is he actually dead? He just looked away, his face twisted by. Junpei wasn't sure what. Instead, Ace spoke. He took a deep breath, closed his eyes, and spoke.
Snake is dead.
How the fuck did that happen?
He died, just as the 9th man did.
Oh. So he was a dumbass. I mean, actually, hold up. Seriously, what? Huh? What? Huh? It was as if all the air had suddenly been sucked out of the room. Junpei felt his heartbeat quicken, and he realized he was having trouble breathing. He could feel cold sweat beading on his forehead and neck. June, Santa, and Lotus looked the way he felt. All 3 were frozen in place, their faces white.
God, that's not true, is it?
We should make sure.
Yeah, right. We should.
They nodded to one another and headed for the numbered 3 door.
Wait, not that way.
What? Why not?
What? They stopped short and turned to look at 7. He was pointing at the door with no number.
I stuck a screwdriver in there to keep the door from closing all the way. It's not locked, so you can go in that way.
Okay.
Where is he?
The shower room. Left side of the hallway.
That is messed up. No way.
Keep the door open.
That means we can get in without going through the numbered door, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then let's go.
Their new destination cleared, Junpei and his companions headed for the door with no number. Once in the hallway, it was easy to spot the metal door on the left wall.
This wasn't open when we passed here before.
But now, just as 7 had said, there was a broom stuck between the door and the frame, keeping it open.
Well, let's keep going.
They looked at it for a moment, then stepped inside.
Oh, it smells horrible.
Lotus wrinkled her nose and covered her mouth in disgust. Even Santa pinched his nose shut.
Ugh, yeah, this is pretty awful. I feel like I'm gonna puke.
It was just as bad as they said, perhaps worse. A hideous smell filled the air, so thick they could almost taste it. It was sour and smelled of fish, feces, and burned meat. Ugh. Ugh, God, I'm having lunch soon, shut up! Ugh. What the fuck? Worked its way through Junpei's nose and down his throat to pound against the entrance to his stomach. He put his hands over his mouth and struggled to keep it what little was in his stomach where it belonged.
Where is he? Where's Snake?
They didn't have to wonder where the body was.
There.
There was blood everywhere, a few arms of the splatter reaching towards them as they walked in through the door. All one had to do was to follow the many radial arms to their source. The body itself was hidden behind a divider.
June, you should stay here.
But
Please, just do me a favor, okay? Alright?
He didn't give her a chance to say no. He put his hand on her shoulder as if to shove her into the ground like a tent pole, turned and walked toward the end of the divider.
I'm going in.
It felt like it took an eternity for him to get there. Santa and Lotus followed, timid and nervous as a pair of children. Eventually, they reached the divider. They looked at one another and nodded, slowly. Junpei put his hands on the divider and peered around the corner. For a moment, he forgot to breathe. He felt his heart collapse in his chest like an empty cigarette carton, and time froze. He knew in that instant that he would take the image before him to the grave. What was left of the body sat in a sea of blood. Chunks of flesh torn from the body sat in the blood like tiny islands in a great red sea. A vast, ragged hole had been torn in the torso, and what remained of his intestines spilled out of it like fresh spaghetti. Ugh! Smaller chunks of meat had splattered against the wall and become stuck there as they dried. Globules of yellowish fat had left trails like tiny slugs as gravity pulled them down the wall, even as they dried to it. Dude, this is a lot more description than I paid for.
Just like Ace said.
And his voice was strained. Junpei suspected he was holding down some vomit of his own.
Just like the ninth man. The detonator in his bracelet set off the bomb in his gut.
It looked as though the explosion had been quite powerful.
Oh god. The bone is coming out of his left arm.
It's definitely an open fracture.
His legs were both bent in an odd, unnatural way, and his left arm had split open, exposing the painfully white bone of his ulna. His bracelet lay next to him. It seemed to have hit the wall hard enough to have shattered the display, which lay on the ground in pieces.
Oh, the face. It's horrible.
Yeah, can't even tell who it is.
You can't even tell who it is. It's kind of sus, not gonna lie. But I'll play along for now. Half of his head had simply collapsed. The blood coating almost made it look like raw pizza dough covered in tomato sauce. Ugh, stop! His clothes too were covered in blood. The burgundy tie, the white shirt, the jacket with the yellow piping and the gray slacks.
But the clothes are...
They were all familiar to Junpei.
No mistake about it. It's Snake.
Yeah. Lotus's voice was unnaturally deep and strained, and Junpei heard a catch in her throat. He dead. The squeal of tortured metal made Junpei's teeth curl. It sounded like the noise a ghost would make. No matter how many times he heard it, he never got used to it. Every time it put him on edge. It didn't help that there was a girl nearby who looked far more like a ghost than a living human should. Clover? Yep, it was Clover. Dude, you gotta feel bad for her. She sat on the edge of the bed, her head drooping listlessly onto her chest. Her eyes were blank and stared across the room at nothing. Her breathing was slow and mechanical. Aside from the rise and fall of her chest, she didn't move. It felt as if even a nudge might cause her to shatter into 1,000 pieces.
Snake was probably murdered. Chances are he was killed the same way the ninth man was.
Yep. Seven lowered his voice, likely in an effort to keep Clover from hearing what he had to say. There were 4 other people in the room with Junpei and Seven. Ace, Senta, June, and Lotus. Seven looked at each one of them and turned, continued.
It's pretty straightforward. Not that hard to figure out how they did it. First, the killers got Snake to authenticate on the red to open door 3. Then they shoved him into it. Alone.
But, like, it doesn't make sense. How did he enter? He was alone. You need at least 3 people.
And waited 9 seconds for the door to shut. Once that door shut, it was all over for Snake. But he didn't give up. He probably knew it wouldn't do him any good, but he probably ran into the shower room looking for the dead. It was a small chance, but it wasn't like he had anything to lose. Unfortunately, it didn't work. The detonator is only deactivated if everybody who authenticated when they went in uses the dead.
Yeah, but this is what I'm talking about. If he wasn't alone, how?
Snake was the only one who went through the door, and then 81 seconds after he was shoved in, that happened.
I see. So that's what you meant by killers, huh? You need at least 3 people to open one of the numbered doors.
Exactly.
Including Snake.
So, hold
It
up.
wouldn't open for Snake and a single killer.
Yeah, that means we're looking at multiple perps here.
Junpei crossed his arms and grunted.
Well, just in case, I want to make sure. Let's say you're right. When do you think Snake was killed?
When we all split up to look for the parts for the Reds, I think. Right after that was when we noticed he was gone.
Yep.
And that means none of us have alibis.
Yep.
We were all off searching the rooms we'd been assigned, looking for those parts.
Yeah, that means anybody could be a killer.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about?
Come on, June, it's not that hard. Only you guys have bracelets. Only you guys can open the doors. June seemed shocked.
How can you say that so casually?
It's true!
You're implying that one of us is a killer.
At least.
Well, not just one of us. If I'm right, then at least 2 of us are murderers.
Why don't you calm down a bit, Seven? What are you going to gain by being so suspicious? That's what Zero wants, you know?
What, Zero wants?
Exactly. This game was set up by Zero, wasn't it? Any game has a winner and loser.
I guess.
Whoever makes it through door 9 is a winner, and those who don't are the losers. Zero is trying to make us fight against one another for that victory.
Then you're saying that Zero is trying to split us up by making us fight each other?
Yes. That is why we can't let ourselves fall prey to suspicion. We have to trust one another and form a strong bond of friendship. Otherwise, we'll end up ensnared by Zero's manipulations.
Mm-hmm.
Then does that mean that the person who killed Snake...
Yes. Almost certainly Zero himself.
Fair.
If there's anyone we should doubt, it should be Zero. He masterminded this game and kidnapped all of us.
True.
Doesn't it seem reasonable that he would have killed Snake as well?
Good question.
Junpei hadn't really considered
If
that.
Zero killed Snake, then Zero is on the ship with us.
Yeah, Junpei... Was Zero still on the ship with them? I didn't mean to go to the transcript. I'm actually not sure if that's the case. I don't know, honestly. He wasn't sure.
Something's still strange.
What was that?
Well, I'm just wondering about one thing.
And what's that?
How can you be so sure that Zero's on this ship?
Ace's eyebrows shot up.
Really, Junpei? I confess I'm a little disappointed. Usually you're rather sharp. Isn't it obvious?
Wait, it is?
This ship.
Huh?
Zero said, "this ship," several times when he addressed us.
Okay, yeah. Oh, really?
If he weren't here, he wouldn't say "this ship," would he? He'd be saying something like, "that ship," or "the ship."
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Ace's explanation made perfect sense. Junpei felt a little foolish that he hadn't seen it himself. Dude, it's been almost 6 months since I started this. You think I remember Zero's monologue? Fuck you. Still, he was left with a question. It was one of no small
If
importance.
Zero's on the ship,
Where is he? Yep. Suddenly, everyone went very quiet. The silence was cold and clammy, and Junpei could feel it crawling across his back and around his throat. Again, he heard the ghosting moaning noise. And moments later, a person who looked more ghost than human appeared. It was Clover. She looked at the floor as she spoke, and her voice was a cold monotone.
I think Zero is one of us.
Oh! You know, it would make sense, actually. Every human body in the room froze. The only sound was the muffled rustling of breath. Her eyes darted from face to face. One of those faces was the face of their jailer. But who? Was he one of them? What? No! I think that's possible. I think that's entirely possible. I'm gonna go with my gut. That's possible.
Yeah, that's possible.
Huh?
Like Clover said, Zero might be one of us.
What are you saying, Jumpy? Didn't you hear what Ace said?
Exactly. I said we shouldn't suspect one another for no reason.
No reason. I've got a great reason.
And what's that?
The bracelets.
He held out his left
Why are
arm.
the bombs in our bodies connected to the bracelets? You're all thinking Zero's hiding somewhere watching us, right? If he's doing that, then he could just detonate the bombs by remote control if someone did something they weren't supposed to.
He's
It
right.
would be a lot more precise and a lot easier. But if that's the case, then why is the bomb set off by the detonator in the bracelet?
You got a point.
I'm not done. Try applying the same ideas to the Nonary game. All of the puzzles here run all by themselves. In other words,
Yeah. It's all automatic.
Zero doesn't have to be controlling them for the game to move forward. Why's that? Why would Zero bother to do something like that?
Junpei let the question hang in the air and looked at the others. It was Santa who answered.
So let's say you and Clover are right. Zero's one of us. If that's the case, then it'd be really hard for him to keep track of all of us or control anything remotely. That's why all the puzzles run by themselves. That's what you're getting at, right?
Yeah. Junpei nodded.
Seven, when we were talking earlier, you said any one of us could be Snake's killer, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Alright then. I've got a question for you, Ace. You said something like Zero must be the one who killed Snake, right?
Yes, something like that. I can't think of any other explanation.
Combine the
So
two.
what do we get if we combine those?
Yep.
They fit together pretty well, I think. Something like this. Whoever killed Snake is Zero. Hence, Zero is one of us. Seven and Ace's theories aren't mutually exclusive. They actually complement each other pretty well. At least they do if Zero is one of us.
No one spoke. Their faces were grim, but Junpei wasn't sure if they believed him or not. Finally, Lotus spoke up.
What were his motives?
His motives?
Yes, isn't that pretty important? Why would Zero want to hide as one of us?
Oh, well, that's because...
Junpei choked. He hadn't thought of that, and he had to be honest with himself. He had no idea.
I don't know.
Lotus sighed.
Well, so much for making a persuasive argument, Junpei.
In other words, you only had circumstantial evidence.
I don't really think that's enough to go on, you know?
That's fair. Junpei was painfully aware of their eyes on him and their disapproval. He tried to find something else, anything else to look at. And in that horrible silence, they heard a bell begin to ring. It was the clock at the central staircase.
It's 3 in the morning.
That means we have 3 hours left.
Then we need to move now. Seven, Clover, Junpei, I know how you feel, but you do understand that right now it's important we trust one another, don't you?
You're right, but...
Junpei couldn't bring himself to respond. He swallowed the words he wanted to say and sighed. Seven and Clover remained similarly silent. Hold up. How long have we been going for? Huh? A decent chunk. Might end soon. Their eyes were looking at something somewhere else, very far away.
We must go. We have very little time left.
Ace's words put their feet to moving. They all knew where they were
Our
going.
next destination is Mercury.
Really?
But maybe you and June should check it out first and then report back to us.
Alright.
Alright, let's go, June.
Right. Here it is.
It sat, bolted to the wall near the stairs that led to the casino and the kitchen, between the two elevators.
The Mercury card reader.
We're using the card 7 gave us, right?
Yeah.
I found it when we were checking out the shower room.
Aha!
I think
Okay.
7 said something like that. Anyway, let's see what happens.
Junpei slid the card through the reader. The light on the reader turned green and made a tiny electronic noise.
I guess the elevator works now.
Junpei, I know it's only the two of us, but let's do our best.
What's with you all of a sudden?
Well, I'm happy we were put together.
Aw, that's cute.
You know it's just for searching E-Deck, right?
Even so, I'm glad I'm with you.
Oh. First, we need to find out if the elevator comes up full of water.
Just like we did before.
The music's so good. I can't get enough of it.
Oh, here it is.
I knew it. It's not wet at all.
Let's go.
Yes.
Once it had been checked for water, Junpei and Jun stepped into the elevator.
Look! Nearly all of the buttons are destroyed.
Yeah, only the seat and bottom button can be pushed.
We're on C deck right now, so the only one we can choose is bottom.
Yeah. Well, let's try it out.
Junpei hit the bottom button. The door closed. Slowly, they began to move downward.
So this is the bottom deck.
They stepped off and saw that the hallway to their right ended somewhere between 20 and 25 feet from them. The hallway in front of them was a dead end, but not a regular dead end.
Over there.
Ah,
This is a numbered door.
Yep,
This is the 8th one we found.
only one more left.
There were 2 numbered doors on B deck near the central staircase. They were doors 4 and 5. 3 more in the large hospital room. Doors 3, 7, and 8.
And the door we found on E deck, and the door Lotus and Santa found on A deck. It was a 6 on the door on E deck, and a 1 on the door on A deck.
We're almost done. 4, 5, 3, 7, 8, 6, 1. And now door 2 stood in front of Junpei.
That means...
Do you think the next door we find?
Come on, there's only 9 doors, 9 numbered doors. The next one has to be a 9.
Yeah, I think so. The next one's gonna be door 9.
Despite himself, Junpei felt excited. There was something about that excitement that frightened him as well.
Finally!
Yeah,
You don't look very happy about it, though.
it's not that. I just hope nothing goes wrong.
You're right. We should keep our fingers crossed.
Let's head back.
Alright. He did his best to put it from his mind and head back to C deck with Jun.
1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 7 pieces.
The pieces of paper they'd folded up lay on the ground next to Junpei's legs. Everyone had written on paper pulled from Junpei's notebook in an effort to pull together a blind vote.
Just double checking, but everyone wrote their code name and a door number they want, right?
Yes, just like you told us earlier.
Can't believe we're voting here.
Why had they decided to vote that way?
We need to make the whole thing fair, blah-de-blah. This is a complicated plan, you know. Hurry it up, Mr. I have a brilliant idea.
They decided it wasn't fair to simply ask everyone at once. That would allow people to force others to go through certain doors.
Yeah, quiet in the peanut gallery.
And he had a plan. It wasn't a plan he wanted anyone catching wind of, however, so he did his best to act calm as he began to open and read the pieces of paper.
All right, let's open these up. The first one says, Ace requests door 1.
Yes, I do. Would you like me to explain why?
No, we don't have time for that. Sorry. Let's keep going.
He opened the second one.
Next is Santa. He wants door 6.
Yeah, that's what I wrote.
Alright. Sorry, guys. Whew. The third, fourth, and fifth pieces of paper.
Clover wants 1, Lotus wants 2, and 7 also wants 2.
Okay.
Wait a minute. There is no way I'm going anywhere with the Elephant Man.
No,
Wow.
there'd be no point to the voting if we let people change their choices because of stuff like that.
But... no.
Just give it up, Lotus. It's not like I want to hang out with some exhibitionist grandma.
Oh!
I'm not an exhibitionist. I'm wearing clothes.
Barely.
So, last I checked, that's not a crime.
Maybe. But what about common decency? Nobody wants to have to look at a chick who looks like a half-naked raisin.
Oh, I'm gonna kill you!
Lotus's hair flared out like the mane of an angry lion, and she roared with a voice that shook the
not
walls.
Let go! Let go of me! I'm killing him!
With some difficulty, Ace managed to restrain her.
Junpei, read the rest.
Right.
Junpei tore it. That happened. Tore his eyes away and looked down at the 6th piece of paper. He opened it.
June wants door 6.
Yes, I don't really have a reason. I just felt like it.
All of the papers, save Junpei's, had been read. He did some quick calculations in his head.
So this was everyone's vote. Ace and Clover requested door 1.
Okay. This was the door on A deck near the central staircase. So Ace and Clover, 1 plus 4, 5. They need Junpei. Okay, yeah. Junpei's gonna go with them.
7 and Lotus requested door 2.
Okay. 7 plus 2 equals 9.
Santa and June requested door 6.
No, wait, it's not 2. It's not 2. It's not 2. Wait, it's on auto. Stop. Trying to make I'm trying to use my big brain here. What is Lotus's number? Fuck. I forgot. Is she 7? No, that's 7. 8? I think Lotus is 8, right? Ace is 1. Snake was 2. Santa's 3. Clover's 4. Junpei's 5. June 6. 7. Yeah, Lotus is 8. So 7 plus 8, 15. 15 1 plus 5 equals 6. They need a 6. Okay. Okay. This was the door. Blah 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 blah.
The door I should choose is.
It took him less than a second to run the numbers. He opened the 7th piece of paper and spoke.
Okay, the last one is mine. I want to go through.
Okay, hold up. I need to see the transcript again. Santa and June. 3 plus 6 equals 9. 9 plus 5 equals 14. 5. So it has to be door 1. It has to be door 1, dude. 1 plus 4 equals 5. Plus 5 equals 10.
My choice is door 1.
Unconvinced.
Hey, wait a minute there. You cheating?
Cheating?
I'm asking if you changed your number after you heard what doors we wanted.
How could I do that? I wrote it down on the paper earlier.
Let me see that.
Sure, here.
Junpei shrugged and handed it to him. Santa examined it furiously. The others peered at it as well. As they did, Junpei quickly slipped the piece of paper he'd been hiding into his pocket. Although he'd never know it now, Santa had been justified in his suspicions. Junpei had switched papers.
I had 3 pieces of paper ready.
Ah, okay, that's why we had the choice. For doors 1, 2, and
And I
6.
put the one with door 6 on it into the pot.
He put a small mark on it so that he would know which one was
I just
his.
needed to make sure I drew last. After I saw everyone else's result, I just chose whatever door I wanted. If the number I'd already put in matched, then I didn't have to switch the paper out.
Well, what does it say?
He fought the urge to smirk.
You got lucky.
Santa snorted and tossed the paper aside, frustrated.
Very well. We've decided who will go through door 1. It will be Clover, Junpei, and myself.
1 plus 4, yep.
Our only problem is the 2 remaining teams.
June and I want door 6.
Lotus and I want door 2.
That's not good. We can't open either of those doors with only 2 people.
Yep.
Aw.
Fine. 7, we'll go through door 6.
3 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8. Yeah, you're right.
Sure
Good
thing.
job.
I didn't really want to go through door 2 anyway. Besides, if we've got a younger girl with us, it'll lower the average age.
Bro! Chill!
Right, June?
Well, I
June was at a loss for words. Lotus was not.
Pig. You just wait and see.
Oh god. She mad. Her eyes were the eyes of a woman prepared to kill. A shiver ran down Junpei's spine.
Calling me old. This is why men are such a pain in the ass. They're about as subtle as a brick.
And they're at it again.
Yep. They're at it again, boys. Even after they separated at the staircase, Lotus was still muttering angrily to herself.
I'll see you later, June.
Aww.
Jumpy.
Circumstances dictated that Junpei and June would have to part ways again, but this time it didn't sting quite so much.
Don't make that face. It'll be like what Seven said.
We aren't going to be split up permanently till we find door 9. We might get separated for a little while, but we'll see each other again.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we won't be able to open door 9. And that's how the Nonary game works.
Seven's words took a weight off of Junpei's shoulders and felt much better.
It'll be fine. I'll see you soon.
All right. See you later.
I really like June. She's so cute. Lingering uneasy remained, but they went their separate directions without much trouble. Junpei, Ace, and Clover headed toward the
Here's
A-deck.
A-deck. It was the door on the left, right?
That should be it, yes.
And here we go.
It opened and they walked through. Poor Clover.
It's just as Santa and Lotus said.
At the end of the hallway sat a door with a large red 1 upon
A
it.
numbered door.
To the left of it, bolted to the wall, was the red.
There's the red. I'll go first.
Right. Ace went first and waved his wrist over the scanner panel.
Now the two of you, if you would.
Yeah. Junpei was next. Finally, listlessly, Clover lifted her arm. She leaned towards the scanner panel. Third asterisk clicked to life, shining brightly. Ace took hold of the lever. Took a deep breath and turned to Junpei and Clover.
Are you ready? Shall I pull it?
Yeah, anytime.
Clover said nothing. She nodded, little more than a lethargic twitch of the head.
Very well then. Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Right, let's go. That's an interesting numbered door.
And it's open! Move it!
They stumbled into the room.
Where is it?
Frantically, Junpei scanned the room. There it is. His eyes stopped on the device that would determine whether they lived or died.
There it is! Over there!
Next to the door they'd come through was the dead. As one, they ran to it. They put their hands over it as if they were fighting for it. There we go.
It stopped.
Yes, it did.
Junpei could feel his heart pounding against the inside of his ribs. Ace and Clover were breathing hard and fast.
I don't believe I'll ever get used to that.
I'm not sure it's something I'd want to get used to. We should finish this game before imminent death becomes a normal thing.
I agree.
Now then.
Junpei looked around again, this time more slowly.
There's another door. Let's try opening it.
They took hold of the knob and easily, gently pulled it open.
So, this is the wheelhouse?
He closed the door again and turned to Ace and Clover. He fixed each in turn with a meaningful stare, then spoke.
Ace, you investigate the wheelhouse next door.
Very well.
Clover, you're in charge of this room. Say something.
Okay, I will.
All right then, let's get started.
All right. Seek a way out, and that's where we're leaving off this episode. Welcome to the chart room. This is where we're leaving off this episode. Man, it's good to be back. I missed this. Not the chain of events that I expected to happen, you know, Snake dying and whatnot, but I think we're doing pretty good. I think I'm enjoying this game a lot. It's pretty nice. I don't know, man. This game's weird, but it has like something that's unique to it, if it makes sense. But yeah, we're back to Zero Escape, finally. I know, it's been forever. But anyways, folks, that'll be all for now. Thank you all for watching. If you liked today's video, consider leaving a like and subscribing if you are new to the channel. And if you want to be notified of future uploads like this one, hit the little bell. You know what to do. Also, if you want to be notified of future uploads like this... No, I don't know my outro. Also, if you want to join my Discord server or follow me on Twitch, For more constant updates, link is in the description below. I'm sorry, I'm super sleepy. But anyways, that'll be all for me. Stay safe. And until next time, peace!